Let's talk about my dumbest cross-stitch purchase ever, my progress on the cuckoo clock, the thing I'm working on instead of making progress on the cuckoo clock. I'm Michelle. This is my romantic tangle. It is Tuesday, December 20th, 2022. Does that make it 3 days before Christmas since we're celebrating on Christmas Eve? I don't know, but I am running out of time. I've done more work on the cuckoo clock since last time I did a floss tube update, and I am smitten. I did the tree, and I'm filling stuff in as I go, which if you watch my channel, you'll know I'm really bad about leaving little gaps and spaces and a whole mess to figure out later. I'm being much better with this one, and I am having fun with this one. Like I said last time, a clock is not a house, but this has all the things I love about stitching houses. As soon as I'm done with my other thing, I'm getting back to this thing. The other thing is my ugly Christmas sweater. Last year, my sister suggested that for Christmas 2022, we should all wear ugly Christmas sweaters, and it sounded like a great idea. And of course, I'm me, and I didn't start actually working on my ugly Christmas sweater until December 17th, 18th, because I'm not crazy enough to think that I could knit a sweater from scratch, but I am the kind of knitter who would take an existing sweater and slap a lot of embellishments on it to make just exactly what she wants. I knew I had a sweater. This one, 100% it came from the Goodwill bins. I have no memory of buying it. It is 2 sizes too big, so was I pregnant when I bought it? Has it been in my drawer for that long? I was 100% going to donate this sweater to Goodwill until the ugly sweater idea came up, and I went, this would be a good base because it's a nice neutral plain. Now I'm deciding I like the sweater, so do I temporarily baste my elements on? Do I use a different sweater that I already have that has a hole in it that I could cover with embellishments? Do I go to the thrift store and look for another sweater even though there's no time for that? Yeah, I should use this sweater. So what I did is I knitted a knitting basket, and I knitted some little yarn balls. These are the Tribble pattern. Can't remember who designed it, but I'll put a link. And they're actually dish scrubbies, but I knew they'd come out looking like yarn balls that I could put in my basket. And then I've been doing Christmas knitting. I'm using bits of worsted weight, and I'm making stockings. There is no pattern for these. There's no pattern for any of this except the little Tribble scrubbies. We're going to pretend that green blob is a Christmas tree. And I did this one the night before last. I knit stripes and then embroidered X's over them. And I'm loving this because it gives me a way to play with different sock ideas without actually having to make a functional sock. The problem is that all my socks are facing in the right direction, which if you have stockings on a fireplace is, oh, I did make one going the other direction. I'm getting better. I'm confused. I thought they all went the same way, but apparently, no, I've got them going 2 different directions now. Or no, I'm holding them upside down. There was a moment of hope there. Doesn't matter. I'm going to do some more socks and some more mittens and some other little things and hopefully get it all done in time to sew everything on the sweater before Christmas Eve, because I mean, if I don't, that's not going to work. Safety pins? Not hot glue. Thrifting has been kind of dismal lately, but I did find this. No, I can't read Japanese, but it is a stitch dictionary of 300 knitting stitches, and some of the Japanese ones are super wonderful and ornate. And because all of the designs are charted, you just have to be able to know the symbols for the different decreases and increases. When these started to become available a few years back, I wanted one so bad. They weren't super cheap. They weren't prohibitively expensive, but to find one at Goodwill for $3 just made me happy. Patience. If you can't get the thing that is the fad right now, it'll eventually find its way to the thrift stores, and maybe you will still want it, and maybe you can get it then. It's been the year for coffin case Singer sewing machines. I found 2 more of them. 1 more of them, and the same one I had already seen. I'm finding different machines in the same thrift store, but because of their features, I can tell that these are not the same machine, and it's keeping me entertained. Then I was looking through the craft section at Teen Challenge and saw this. I saw this sticking out of a pile of yarn. Those are Dimensions floss organizers. There is a lot of floss on these floss organizers, and then there's some stuff in here that's definitely not attached to these, but there are also the little taggy things that come in Dimensions kits. You know me, I dug through every last scrap of everything in that craft section to see if the kit that belonged with this was in there somewhere. It wasn't, and for some reason or other, I had to pay $1 and bring this home with me. I don't know why. I'd love to know what kit it was. It has red yarn in the kit, so if you have a Dimensions kit you're working on that has actual red yarn, let me know the name of it, because I thought I could use the numbers on the tag to sleuth and find out what kit this was, but I haven't gotten anywhere with that. Worst case scenario, I donated $1 to a good charity, and I've got extra Dimensions floss if I run out from one of the kits I'm stitching. No presents this year that I'm knitting or stitching or sewing, because I'm being pretty good at knowing my limitations. Didn't start any of the Pinker pumpkin salt boxes that I thought I might start for Christmas. There is always next year, or I can do Christmas in July, or I can stitch them whenever I want, but I don't need a Christmas deadline right now. What is the tightest you have made it to a deadline? I think mine was, I started knitting a turkey hat for the kids on the day before Thanksgiving at 5 p.m. during my daughter's karate class. Was not able to get it done, and she knit the second leg on the drive to my parents' house for Thanksgiving dinner. It was done. My daughter was in the 11-year-old daughter at the time was in the back seat asking about my gauge and why I had been knitting so tightly, and if it was going to be a problem that she couldn't match my gauge, but the hat got done. The sweater will get done. I just don't want to start stitching things down onto it until I've got all of my embellishments and know where they're all going to fall. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to upload this and go start some more knitting, because as soon as I'm done knitting, I can get back to stitching, and let's all cross our fingers nothing happens to derail that plan. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with you with more videos soon.